It's dahlia time here in our garden and we couldn't be more excited. So I want to show you what we've got growing and then tell you a little bit about the high beds, the copper tape, how we got to where we are right now. So if you'll come on in, I'll show you. One of my favorites is this one, this purple flame. Absolutely gorgeous. The foliage is a little darker than the others. Really, really a pretty one. Makes a nice cut flower as well. The next one we have is this beautiful white one, Playa Blanca. And then here in the middle, a little lower one, a bit tucked away, is this Melody Harmony. Really pretty, nice and light pink. And then we have this really tall one, this bigger guy with the bigger head. This is a Bacardi. You can see that he has a nice long stem, makes a much better cut one in the vase. Down here at the bottom, we've got crushed crimson. This deep crimson color, obviously. Also a darker foliage, so it makes really pretty. And then here, rounding off the end of this bed, we have these bishop's children. Now these we grew from seeds. We have a few shorts videos where we show that process, so I'll make sure that those are connected. But the rest of these dahlias we grew from tubers. This one is one of Lars's favorites, Cabana Banana. These guys have the craziest names, but look at that. It feels like a cabana party waiting to happen. We'll come on down here towards the back of the beds and head straight up to that boom boom white. Look at that. The middle's really nice and tight. Absolutely gorgeous. The boom boom white, and then we'll go all the way around the bed. We still have a few that aren't blooming yet, but we do have this really pretty dragon ball. Look at that. So pretty. There's orange petals in the yellow. And again, this also has that dark foliage and a nice tall stem. We planted these dahlias in raised beds for two main reasons. One is for the soil. Dahlias prefer well-draining soil, and that's what we can give them when we can control it within a raised bed. And number two is to keep them away from the slugs and the snails. It's a big issue here in Denmark. These raised beds were new to our garden this year. As we took up the grass, we've told you in some other videos that we took up all the lawn, and then suddenly we had all of this empty space. We brought in the raised beds to really give these guys a highlight. Filling up a raised bed may seem like an expensive problem if you're going to try to fill it with soil. So what we did at the bottom of these, we filled it with sticks, we filled it with compost, we filled it with leaves that we had collected from the tree all autumn. And so they have an incredibly healthy place to grow. So really only the top couple of inches is the soil that they're actually growing in. So if you'll come in, I also want to show you this copper tape. This is something new that we decided to try because we don't want to use poison to get rid of the snails and the slugs. So we've used this copper tape. It's sort of a sticky tape that just wraps all the way around it. Depending on what it is that you're reading online, some say that it gives the snails and the slugs an electrical shock. So maybe it's a mini electric fence. Others say that it reacts with the slime and makes something basically uncomfortable for the snails and slugs. What we have found is that it works. So that we can tell you that it works. One thing that we're going to do differently next year, we have these poppies here hanging over, and basically they're ladders for the snails and the slugs. Now, we haven't had a big problem with them, but that's also because we had an extremely dry May and June. So this year, I think we got kind of lucky, but we'll see about next year. But the copper tape is definitely a winner. Another thing that we've done is we staked them, but for those of you out there who are great dahlia growers, you will probably disagree with how we did it because we did it really too late. We went on vacation for the summer, as people do. We came back, Denmark had a lot of rain, the dahlias just took over, and then we kind of had to come back in and stake them after the fact. So next year what we're going to do, after we've taken them out in the fall, and we bring them back in the spring, then we're going to stake them in advance. So, lesson learned. So besides deadheading to encourage new growth, one thing we did when they were around 20 centimeters tall, we pinched off the tops, and that encouraged them to not only have more blooms, but also get bushier, which is something that we really like. We didn't have to fertilize this year, And again, I think it's because, we're pretty sure it's because they're sitting in almost pure compost. These are really highly nutritious flower beds that we created. Next year though, we're going to have to. So we'll be sure to talk about that in future videos. But let me know which one's your favorite. These crazy names from Boom Boom White to Purple Flame down there in the bottom. So let us know which one's your favorite. And thank you for all your comments. If you have any great dahlia tips, we've grown them before, but never this many because these beds are new. So pass along those tips. We're always happy to hear. So thanks for watching.